I'm glad you asked this question because you should read them in order, and this is why. So each one of my books reads kind of like a timeline of events, but there are poems in my first book that tie into my third book and some in my second that tie to my first and my third. So all the poems work on an individual level. They become more powerful and more meaningful when you read them collectively. So you should start with Still Growing Wildflowers, and this is what she looked like when I first published her. I published her while I was still married, and after my divorce, I couldn't change the author name to my maiden name, so I just republished her, and now she looks like this. And you can still buy like the first edition, but I would recommend this one because it matches her sister's, and it has my real name, so there's that. So she explores childhood trauma and grief and a bunch of other random things. What it's like being in a marriage that's not meant for you, what it's like being in a religion that's not meant for you. So that's where I would start. And next is The Lovers. I wrote this after my divorce, here in this apartment, on the porch, everywhere. And she just kind of explores past relationships, and it's molded into like one or two characters kind of. And yeah. Then we have Made of Earth. This is my third book baby. It's also my favorite, and I know that people say you can't have a favorite, but I do. And she's kind of the sister that brings the other two books together, and it explores a lot more of childhood trauma and relationships with your parents, or my parents specifically, LOL, and death, religion, lovers again. So it's a combination of Still Growing Wildflowers and The Lovers. And if you've read any of my poetry or my books, you know that even though like there's a lot of talk about trauma and things like that, it always comes back to healing at the end, and how healing is found within yourself and not generally within like a lot of outside sources. Even though at times like we do rely on those outside sources, ultimately the medicine is within us. So just to recap, Still Growing Wildflowers first, The Lovers, and then Made of Earth. That's it. Love you. Bye.